got Minnesota and Vancouver. Vancouver minus 136. I do think the Canucks would win there. We'll get back to the pucks. Do we have Mick Aussie ready to go? What's going on, Mick?
Yeah, doing good, mate. And I'll take the Oilers as well. And Edmonton should be a hub city because we've got hardly any cases of COVID-19. And by then, I reckon we'll have some fans in the crowd in the magnificent new arena here, mate.
No fans. Looking good, Mick. Looking good, I got to say.
Yeah, looking real good. Strong.
No. Listen, I don't have a problem with Edmonton as a hub city. No fans. Like, we don't want you there. You can't go, Mick. No fans.
Listen, we're doing way better here than probably anywhere in Canada now. We've only got a few cases in the whole city of Edmonton. So by the time the NHL do get going, which if they get going, we might have it totally under control and the fans can sit there and they can go and feed the chooks over the Oilers because they love them here, mate. They love them, as you know.
All right, Mick. So listen, I wanted to get to this with Pete Blackburn because he tweeted this out. Hank Azaria, who is part of Spinal Tap, and of course, voice of many characters on The Simpsons. It's funny because I tweeted this out last week. I was thinking about it, and he said the first concert that he went to, and he asked people, "What's your first concert? What venue? What year? What venue? What tour? Etc." And for the record, Hank Azaria's first show was Madison Square Garden. Jethro Tull sitting on a park bench.
Down his nose.
1976, Madison Square Garden, Jethro Tull was Hank Azaria's first show. Now, Pete from CBS, we didn't get to it, but I saw him tweeting. He said one of the only cool things about me is his first show that he ever saw was Pearl Jam before. So obviously more recent than Jethro Tull in 76. We'll get to Cam in a second. Mick, do you remember your first concert? I know it's probably about 62 years ago, but you're Australian. Did you see AC/DC in a bar or something like that, Mick?
No,
Olivia Newton-John? Olivia Newton-John, maybe? What's your first concert, Mick?
Oh, you'll love this one. In 1967, 1980, so I was about, I can't tell my age. I went and saw INXS in a Thebby theatre of about 3,000 people before they got famous. And then my mate rammed in my car on the way home. So INXS were fantastic. And as you know, the lead singer hung himself in Sydney. But they were fantastic. My favourite band, INXS.
Yeah, I've seen INXS live before. Devil Inside. Devil. Very, very good band.
Good band.
Yeah, strange. Yeah, I'm almost strange been...
Yeah. That was kind of interesting, Gabe. I don't even want to tell you, like, my first concert is it's kind of embarrassing, but my brother's 10 years older than me. But so we went to, Kingswood Music Theater there at the Wonderland, and I saw Simple Minds and Psychedelic Furs, two premier bands of the 80s. I was 9 years old, so I was a pretty young guy. I'm not going to say my first show was like Pearl Jam or, something very, very impressive, but they put on a good show. I was a kid. I was just happy to be there. Not really legendary bands or anything like that.
The first band, the first concert I saw, at first I was like, man, was it this or that? But I had to look up the date just to clarify which came first, and it was Kiss. I saw Kiss in 1979, the Dynasty Tour. They came up through the floor, actually. They came up through the ground. The Dynasty. Yeah, the Dynasty Tour. And I was supposed to see them a year before, actually, but it was sold out. I remember I was upset. My mother couldn't get tickets. And so, 9 years old, I saw Kiss. Unlike Mick, I'll say, not 9 years old. Mick thinks he's running for office still, right? Like, can't share his age. All right, Mick. So AFL football is coming back once again. So here we are. They already tried this. They started. They stopped after one game, one round of games. Now they're back again. They're coming back. Yet this time it's for real, Mick. What's your take?
Yes, Thursday night, June the 11th. So we're going to have a 6-week plus head start on the NBA and the NHL. And it's a ripper to start it. Thursday night is the Collingwood Magpies versus the reigning premiers, the Richmond Tigers. The Tigers are currently 7.5 point spread. Well, it's an early one, but I would take the Tigers to win and maybe the Magpies to cover that because you don't know. They're going to go into hubs. The Crows and the Power and the Eagles and the Dockers, they're flying up to Queensland because of the state quarantine rules. But all go. Thursday week, mate. Can't wait. Round 2. Should be a ripper of a game to start it off.
Yeah, just for the record, for people wondering, because a lot of people, to a lot of people, a ripper is a stripper,
yes,
right?
Correct.
But yeah, a ripper. Cam's like, yeah. A ripper in Australia means a great game.
Great game, ripper.
Cam. It's going to be a ripper.
I like a ripper. Sounds smooth. Yeah, no, yeah. Rippers, strippers, rippers, great games. I got to ask you, Mick, and Gabe, I know Gabe's West Coast Eagles. Give me one team, one future that I could bet on, Mick. You know me, that I could throw down some money and enjoy the season, hopefully cash in. What do you think?
Well, the top teams will be, again, probably similar, but as we know, it could be different. All these people coming out of staying home and some boys getting in trouble. I think the GWS, they might go all the way. They came runners up last year. I always like the Eagles as well. The Bombers are on the up, but they probably might get top 8, top 4. Magpies will be good, but yeah, the Richmond Tigers have won 2 of the last 3. They have amazing depth, so Tigers are probably favourite to win it all. But take the GWS, they might challenge again this year.
Richmond are plus 350. Richmond are plus 350 to win it all. The West Coast Eagles plus 500. Collingwood Magpies plus 500. Great Western Sydney 6-1. Western Bulldogs 14-1. Brisbane Lions 14-1. The Hawthorn Hawks 16-1. You know what, Mick? Wow. What's up with your Adelaide Crows, Mick? You guys are like the Cleveland Browns of like the AFL. Like you're right at the bottom. Like, man, you guys used to be mighty. The Adelaide Crows. I'm like, keep scrolling. You're 80-1 to win the grand final. 80-1, Mick.
Yes, since that disaster a few years ago when we were favourite to win the grand final, we have been terrible, and it's the first rebuild ever in the history of the Crows. They got a new coach, they got rid of some players, so yes, we are definitely in the rebuild. But week 1, we play the Power Paps in Adelaide, so don't write them off there. Power Paps are favourite, but yeah, Crows will be probably missing the 8 in rebuild, mate. Definitely rebuild season, which has been long overdue, actually, because the old-time fellas have been disappointing after that grand final loss.
Hey, listen, we've said this before. We're going to say it again. AFL football, guys, it's not just a league that, you're going to bet on it a bit. I'm telling you, you're going to want to watch this stuff. It's on at a great time of the night, too, the day. Comes on at like midnight, 12:30. It's not too late, actually. You get a game at like 11:45, midnight or so, Eastern time. There'll be another one at about 2 in the morning. And if you're a real degenerate, you're on the West Coast, there's a bunch of like 5, 6 in the morning type of stuff. But it's not just like a league, I'm desperate to bet on something. Like, let's be real. Everyone's betting on Korean baseball, but it's kind of boring, and you're just betting on it because it's there. This AFL stuff, the games fly by. Like, you'll get into it. You'll pick up. The rules are very simple. You'll pick it up very quickly. It's very fast-paced. It's anything but boring. It's very, very a fast-paced sport. Less scoring than it used to be. A little bit less scoring than it used to be. But very, very fast-paced, electric, fun sport to watch. And, this is a chance right now, Mick, this summer. We're seeing the Bundesliga soccer league in Germany is getting massive numbers. I don't want to call the Skins game boring because Cam's like, I wasn't that boring. But, 6 million people are watching NASCAR races now, Mick. I'm telling you, it's an opportunity for AFL football to get some American television coverage.
Absolutely, and as you know, in round 1, they showed all 8 games. They showed them all on ESPN and TSN2 here. So let's hope the AFL are working really closely now with the American market because a huge opportunity, even though there will be no fans in the crowd, there might be some cardboard cutouts. Pamela might be there, but as you know, mate, they get 100,000 people there at the grand final, and it is the biggest sport in Australia, #1, and a great chance for some amazing publicity in America, Canada, the rest of the world. And Window Will's a new fan after round 1, and he watched the 1989 VFL/AFL grand final, so check that out on YouTube. It was rough and tough, and the game was different back then, but it's still great, mate.
Mick Aussie. All right. You're great, Mick, as well. Stay safe. Thanks a lot for stepping up and enjoying Mick Aussie. Good stuff, Mick.
Thanks a lot, guys. Have a great time. See you later.
It's great, great technology. Like we know a lot of people that have a hard time using a phone.
Yes.
You know, sometimes it can be challenging with guests, but hey, Mick's shot was pretty good. Mick steps up and in from the vehicle. Little road rage for Mick Aussie right there. All right, we're gonna.